in that you just cannot figure out how to make things work. So the MFL program is a program that supports you in losing weight in a way that you can feel successful without feeling overwhelmed using macros. You learn how to eat your own foods, not meal plans or any type of diets or any type of products. I'm super excited to dive into this success story today. It's even more meaningful today to share that our guest was able to reach many milestones in just this last year as we've been in the middle of a pandemic. If you're not familiar with Lisa Wilkerson, she is not only a mother, a grandmother, a wife, super busy woman. She has been able to meet a lot of milestones, which will bring her up and she'll be able to share those with you. She tried many things before joining MFL. She tried fasting, intermittent fasting, keto, program Singular. She even increased her workouts, and none of these seemed to work long term for weight loss. Fast forward, she joined the MFL program, and to date, these are just a few milestones that she has met. Just a few. She not only lost her weight that she wanted to lose, but she improved her health. And she got off her medications, and she even prevented herself from getting on statins. Statins are medications used to lower cholesterol, but long-term, they increase the risk for diabetes type 2. So long-term, a statin is not good for health. So once you get on a statin, it's kind of like a rolling domino effect of a lot more health problems to come with that. So that was a huge milestone by itself. She was not only able to learn and go through the program and be able to learn the lifestyle of macros while meeting her goals, she was able to teach her husband. So imagine you're trying to take a class and learn something, and then she actually had the time and grace to teach someone, patience, not only to learn her things, but to teach him. And so she was able to help him lose 103 pounds in just her learning and being able to share that information. So this is not only amazing, but she has finally found freedom with all the things to eat and how to lose weight. So without further ado, let's bring up Lisa. Hi, Lisa. I'm so excited to share your story today. I know we are all so glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
So let's dive in. So we're gonna go back a while before MFL and kind of take us through what was life like before you ever found me in any way. What was your health, your struggles?
Well, my weight struggle started after I turned 50, and it started with joints aching, weight gain, no energy. I couldn't wear my clothes. I had heartburn terrible. I was concerned about diabetes. I had skin acne. I couldn't understand that because I thought I didn't realize you had skin acne after teenage years. Brain fog. And I had no energy. And so the first thing I thought about doing was eating less and exercising more. And so the less I ate and the more I exercised, it just didn't help. The scale kept going up. And so my husband and I tried Singular and bought all the things and did all the things and stuff like that, and lost maybe a little, but it just wasn't sustainable. It wasn't a sustainable lifestyle for us. And I worked with a trainer. I signed on for 3 months to work with a trainer. Thought I was going to get help with the nutrition side, which is what I really needed help with, but I didn't get the help I needed with that. So that didn't work. So then I tried keto, and I did that for 2 years and wound up with diverticulosis. Had to have half of my colon removed, and my energy plummeted even further. And so I was just really frustrated and was losing hope for there being anything for me.
And can you take us into, I know a lot of clients are not diagnosed or realize what the symptoms of diverticulitis are. Can you share
Mhm.
with us what that was like before you knew that was diverticulitis?
Well, when I first had the symptoms, it just felt like in the top of my stomach, just like, well, my side hurt, my left side would hurt, and I had twinges with that. But then it was just feeling like somebody had a fist in my gut, and I just didn't even want to eat, and I was just miserable. And so went to the doctor with that, and then of course, went on with that to specialist and colonoscopy and all of that, and wound up struggling with infection after infection, and finally decided to have the surgery. So
And how long did it take you to recover from the surgery?
it took me, I didn't recover from the surgery until I started tracking macros. I tried to work out, and just didn't have the energy. And so I really didn't heal from it until I started tracking macros. I had a lot of inner inflammation going on that tracking macros really, really took care of that for me. So, I also, at the same time that I was that I was diagnosed with diverticulitis, and then I had the surgery and had half of my colon removed, I was also diagnosed with interstitial cystitis, which in layman's terms is painful bladder syndrome. I went to the doctor several times thinking I had a bladder infection, and was told that I didn't. And so they did some tests and told me I had interstitial cystitis, and said that there was no cure for it, nothing that could be done. And so I was put on prescriptions for that as well. So I was on prescriptions for the indigestion and those issues, and also for the interstitial cystitis.
And how long was that period of time? Did you have all of this in the same year?
It all happened probably within a 2 or 3 year period. So,
And then how did that feel? Did it just feel like you couldn't get out of this? Because the whole time you were trying to lose weight, correct?
I was trying to get control of my life back. I was just really frustrated. I thought, I'm going to have to live the rest of my life like this, and this is miserable.
Okay. And then I know your husband, you were able to teach him a lot. Can you share kind of y'all's health journey together? Because it looks like y'all have been on a
Well,
journey and somewhat together.
Yes, I started tracking macros, and he just kind of watched me as I was tracking the macros and stuff. And then he had gained to he gained up to more than he had ever weighed, which was 367. And he had fallen in the driveway and punctured a lung and broke a rib. And we were in the emergency room, and I told him, you've got to do something. We've got to get a handle on this. So he started tracking macros along with me, and the weight started coming off. And, for him, it was like 3 steps forward and sometimes 2 steps back. But here we are a year and a half later, or a year later, and he's at 103 pounds. He's breathing better. He sleeps better. He can go check the mail and not come back winded. So he's off his blood pressure medicine.
Oh, wow.
So
super, super exciting.
it's changed our lives. Yeah.
All right. And then what would you say, since you've started working with me, what would you say the total amount of weight in inches that you've lost?
Oh, goodness. I think I added it up and it was like 22 inches altogether that I've lost. And, and I think, for my husband, which I've not checked lately, but he was up to 7 inches in his waist lost.
Oh, wow. That's
the only thing. That's the only place he would let me check his
Well, you
inch.
both have to be feeling really, really great, right?
So much better. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And what would you say to someone? I know we have a lot of people in the beginners group tuning in and watching this. What would you say to someone if they think macros are just putting in the macro numbers and just trying to meet those numbers? What would you say to that?
There is more to it than just getting your macros numbers and then just trying to meet those macro numbers. When I first started looking at macros, there was another page that I had gotten on, and there was just no guidance. And that's something that I appreciate about macro counting for beginners, is that you're there to help guide people and teach the correct way of macros, because there's a lot more to it, and a lot of, like, the nutrition part, checking your nutrition and things like that. There's a lot of guidelines that you give in the program that you just don't find anywhere else. I sure haven't found it anywhere else. So.
And as far as the weighing, do you think you would have been able to figure out all the different ways of being able to weigh?
No, I really don't. I mean, the program has just opened up so much knowledge. I just appreciate you so much for sharing
Thank
all
you.
that you know, honestly, with folks, to try to help people get a handle on their health. So.
And what would you say what would you say now, after going through the program and everything? What would you say if you were going out to eat? Would you feel nervous about going out to eat, or how would that be different than before the program?
No, because in the program, you have taught us how to pair our foods and not to freak out, so to speak, with the diet mentality. There's so much freedom with it. It's just amazing. If you want the cinnamon roll, you just have to know how to pair it. And you can, it's just freedom and taking control, back over your life. So freedom.
And what would you say? I know a lot of people think I can't learn macros because I don't stay at home and I'm not at home all the time. What would you say to that?
Well, there's guidelines for that as well, on how to view what you're eating and kind of tell your portions by the guidelines. So.
And you travel a lot, correct?
We do.
So that in your experience, that someone like you was able to get all of the results, not just losing weight, but getting healthy, which was the whole intent of everything.
Absolutely.
And still be on the road to do it.
Absolutely. And, at first, when I first got into the program, and I had ordered a travel scale, to carry with me into restaurants and everything. And then you just taught how to go in there and not have to carry a scale with you everywhere, and how you can go in and eat, and even eat what you want, and not worry about the scale, but just knowing how to pair your foods, and how to eat afterwards, and how to reset and things like that. It's just amazing.
Oh, thank you. All right. And so, how did you feel about food before joining MFL? What was it like if you wanted to have something sweet or go somewhere? What were your thoughts? What did you do?
I had a more of a hate relationship with food. I didn't I didn't think any food was good. Practically, I was scared to eat, especially after gaining so much weight. I was scared to eat, and I sure couldn't eat the things that I enjoyed eating, um, and so I just didn't feel. I didn't have any comfort around the idea of food or eating. Um, yeah, it was just sad, really.
And then, how long into the program do you think that you were able to change that mindset through the learning and the teachings?
I think probably it was probably in the first couple of lessons, that that my thinking started changing towards food, and by the end, it was just freedom with food. Not having to withhold myself from something that I might want, just knowing how I could have it, and how I could eat it. Um, so if I go to one of my grandchildren's birthday parties, I can have the piece of cake to celebrate. So
Exciting. So, what are some of the fun things that you really enjoy now with no guilt that you used to not really enjoy, even though you wanted to have those?
going out to eat, I can go out to eat and not worry about what I'm going to order, and how much I'm going to eat, and I just pair it correctly, and have the freedom to enjoy it.
Very
You
good. And what's your favorite restaurant? Do you have one?
Well, we went to eat at Chili's last night. So,
And
and
what do
I
you enjoy at Chili's?
well, I had the chips and salsa.
Right? You can't go wrong, can you?
Mm-mm.
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
yeah,
Okay.
plus a
What
meal.
would you say to someone that says macros just seems too hard and that's why they just feel like they can't get started?
I really feel sad. It makes me so sad whenever I try to talk to someone and they say, "I just don't have time," or "It that's just too hard. That sounds too hard." I just feel sad for them, because I think if they only knew really how easy it is and how freeing it is with food. It's not, it doesn't take that much time. It takes maybe a couple of minutes, and a lot of times I don't do it during the day. In the evenings I'll sit down and track my food, and it takes 2 minutes, maybe five at the most. Um, and thinking that it's hard, it's really not. I mean, it's a skill. It's like you said, you're learning a skill, but it only takes just a couple of months, really, to learn this new skill, and then you've got a just a change for a lifetime with food.
And would
So
you say that's a couple of months if someone was trying to read everything online and buy books, or do you think the program made the difference in that couple of months for
the
you?
program makes all the difference in the world. The program is makes all the difference. And when I say, about 2 months. I mean, that's with tracking your food, and as you're tracking your food, you kind of learn to eyeball things, to know about how much something weighs, and like 12 almonds is 12 grams, and you just kind of learn to eyeball and portions and stuff like that, to where you get to where you don't have to weigh everything all the time. So,
Right. And could you give an experience or kind of just describe someone brand new, they need to lose weight, they have health issues, they're starting a program. Can you explain, I guess, more layman's term, how they get step by step guidance? What you think, like, because you experienced what when you started.
Michelle, your program, it so thoroughly goes through the steps and guidance that before it's not even hard. I mean, before you realize it, you're learning and getting this stuff, and it's not even that hard to learn because of the way you teach it. So, you know, I don't know any other way to
Right.
put
And
it.
before though, you tried to learn macros before? Or you
You,
started
you know,
before the program?
I did. I did, and I tried to calculate them before, which was all wrong, and the program taught me that. And there was another group where, the person running it just threw out some macro numbers, but then, just all these people would get on there and make comments about things. And I go back and look at it now and I think, oh, that's so wrong. um, because there's nobody guiding them really on how they need to go about tracking and the correct way. And so yeah, there is a correct way to track macros. And it's not just by getting a number and then trying to, I mean, you could eat up all your macros in one meal, and that's going to mess with your hormones and everything. So,
Exactly. And can you explain how, since you've learned how to balance or pair a meal, how you feel energetically versus before with the eating?
it's changed my energy level. It's changed brain fog. My skin is clear. I don't have all the breakout on my cheeks now that I was getting. I had such breakout on my cheeks. I thought I've probably got something really wrong with me, or something. But um, so yeah, my acne cleared up. My energy. I'm off the medications. There's so many benefits to it. So many.
And of course, the skin is a direct reflection. A lot of people do not realize. So eczema, dermatitis, which is inflammation of the skin,
Mhm.
um, rashes, acne, even teenagers who get acne, that's hormonal. But our
Mhm.
nutrition is hormonal, right?
Mhm.
Everything we learn in the program is the weight loss is based on hormones and primarily insulin. So when we correct that insulin level, then we start correcting all of those other hormones. It takes time
Mhm.
to shift those out, right? It can take 30 to 60 days depending on how far someone is imbalanced.
Yes.
But that's that skin correcting it,
Mhm.
it'll even get tighter. I mean, the better we eat, the more
Mhm.
balanced we eat, right? It's not just healthy foods, it's how we eat those foods.
Mhm. Exactly. And I had no idea about all of this stuff until getting in the program. And yeah, and with all the knowledge that you share and tips and everything, it's very helpful. Very helpful.
What do you think makes MFL different compared to all the things you tried before? What do you think it was? What were the helpful points to you? Why were you able to be so successful and not turn back?
I think because it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and you teach how to eat and pair your foods, and how to track in a way that you're not tied down to a diet mentality, and so it's easy to sustain. Um, my husband, he's lost 103 pounds, and he sat down in the chair next to me a couple weeks ago, and he said, what's amazing right now is that any other diet I've ever been on, I've not been able to stay on it, and I gained back, and even then some. And he said, but this, I'm so excited about this because it's been, we've been doing this for a while, and I'm actually sustaining it. It's sustainable. So,
And what are some changes that you've noticed or he's told you about how he feels since the weight loss?
his energy is up. His like I said, his breathing is better. He's off his blood pressure medicine. And people are noticing the difference in how he looks, and you can tell he just feels so much better. I feel better. I feel so much better.
And I've seen y'all's pictures kind of side by side. It's such a transformation. I can only imagine the people who know you, the before and then now, when you both walk into a room. If somebody hasn't seen y'all in a year and then bring you both into a room, it would be shocking, right?
I'm sure it is, and before, I got to where I wouldn't even take pictures to put on Facebook or anywhere. I just, I didn't want anybody to see me. And now I just feel back to myself, so to speak. Got control of my life back. So I don't shy away from pictures and things like that with my grandkids or with my kids, so.
And that has to be huge, especially holidays and birthdays, those things that you can take pictures and celebrate.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, what would you say to someone that is sitting on the fence about they do need to lose weight and they do have health problems, but they're sitting on the fence if they can do this?
Oh, I would just say, just please don't get off the fence and do this. You will not be sorry that you have done this and invested in your own self, the time, and effort into doing this. It's not that hard, and it's worth it. You're worth it, and you'll feel so much better if you'll do this. I assure you of that. Please don't hold back.
And what do you think were the defining points to you that made you get off the fence? What do you think, what were the thoughts in your head when we did our call?
When you mentioned that you were going to start the program, I knew I wanted in. But then the struggle started within myself of the commitment, and can I do this? Could I really do this? And I wasn't sure I was even smart enough. That was one of them. Am I smart enough to even figure this out? And things like that. And I just look back now and I just laugh and I think, man, and I'm so glad that I faced those fears and went for it.
And
So,
what would you say if someone feels like they're not smart enough to do the program? What would you explain to them and how you can explain?
I was afraid that I wasn't smart enough. I can just tell you, in the program, Michelle breaks it down so simple, that it's not that hard, and you don't have to be a math whiz to do this. So,
And what would you say? So that we talked about the program kind of thing. And what if you had a question about something in the program, or you wanted your logs reviewed? What do you think was really helpful? That's a part of the program.
the support calls, with the program, there's weekly support calls, and you can send in your food logs, and Michelle will answer questions if you've got any. The support group that's on Facebook is really helpful, and so yeah, I mean, there's always help available whenever you feel stumped. So it's not like you're in this all by yourself. You've got help.
And when Lisa says Facebook group, that is not the beginners group. This is a community by itself for just MFL. They're only MFL members, so that they're able to support each other with ideas, with meals, with questions, with life,
Mm-hmm.
when things happen. So, a lot of them are friends in there.
Mm-hmm. Sure are. And we all have the same goal. And
Right.
that's
And so virtually everyone in there has to have the same goal in order to be able to get into that program. So if we could just give a summary, what would you think, what are the best parts of MFL? What do you think were the defining, that your favorite parts of the program that you take away?
I, from the MFL program, I would say probably the pairing of foods has been just eye opening. It's where the freedom's at. It's where the freedom with food is at, and and having those support calls is also helpful. Knowing that you're there to help lead and guide us if we need the help, is comforting. We're not in this alone.
And would you say that even the calls that you can't make, or the recorded ones, do you feel like those can be helpful if you're
Oh
watching
goodness.
other ones?
Oh goodness, yes. I've not been able to make some of them, and I go in and watch the recordings, and there's all kinds of tips and tricks and tidbits in there that are very helpful. Yes, that they're important too. The support calls.
And would you say so? Just for people to understand, especially a lot of people think, oh gosh, I don't have time to do this. So the thing, I mean, you can attend live or you can attend recorded, but
Yes,
you can get the transformation you and your husband got, and you don't have to attend anything live, correct?
exactly. That's exactly right. So if you can do it on your schedule.
So
So
it's not that you have to make a schedule. I know a lot of people
that's
are
right.
really concerned
Mhm.
because it's going to take time.
You can do it on your schedule. So that can't be one of your excuses.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I've seen some questions here on my end about the MFL program. So I'm not going to answer specific about that because this is about Lisa sharing her story. But if you want to learn more about the program, you can just type apply in the comments. And Lisa, to wrap it up, what would you say to those out there that have been struggling with their weight and they just do not know what to do? What are the first steps?
I would say the first step is to type in apply under the post of this, and connect with Michelle and get the help, because this program does work. It does.
Wow. Thank you so much. I want to thank Lisa so much for coming on and sharing her amazing story, and her husband, obviously, not just learning the lifestyle for her. I mean, to me, that was incredibly grateful and a lot of grace when you're learning something, you don't understand it yourself. So you have to figure it out. And then you're trying to share the information before you're trying to really figure it out. But obviously, you had it enough together for him to be able to jump on the wagon soon enough to be
Mhm.
able to get the information. Because obviously he's not watching the content or in the program, but you're sharing enough with him that he's got the concept of how to
Exactly.
do it. And now he feels successful. That's
Mhm.
important, right? If you don't feel
That's
successful, you're not
exactly,
going to keep doing it.
that's exactly right. And I would say don't hold back any longer. Take control of your life and and let Michelle help you. It's life changing for the better.
And I think it's very important that we talked about your husband, because I've had a lot of people that mention that it's me and she, or me and he.
Hmm.
And, one person has the time to learn it. And would that work? Can me learning the information be able to help, whether it be my children or help my husband? And
Hmm.
your proof that they don't have to be engrossed in the program if somebody's learning the program.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Wow. I want to thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing her incredible story and her
You
trial before MFL, obviously going through MFL and where she's at today. And could you ever see yourself going back to all of the things before, Lisa?
know, no going back, only forward. And and I can't imagine this ever not being my lifestyle is macros in this program.
Wow, what an incredible story. So I want to thank everyone for joining again. Just type apply in the comments. Also type hashtag replay if you're watching this on a replay. And I will reach back out to you. And I want to thank all of you for showing up and giving support for Lisa. And of course, we want to thank Lisa for coming on live and sharing her story. And I want to wish everyone a great afternoon. Bye bye.